Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel Pigskin Addicts. Back again with another video. So, I don't want to waste any time. I want to jump right into this Tennessee versus the LA Chargers breakdown. This is a very, very crucial Week 2 game for the Chargers. I said it in my last video. The Chargers have a tough stretch to start the season, right? This is not going to be an easy stretch. They're going to have to squeak out some wins against teams that are fully capable of beating them. Tennessee is a team that is fully capable of beating the Chargers. I wouldn't call Tennessee a great team, but they're well coached and they're capable of beating a team like the Chargers, especially at home. So this is a very crucial Week 2 game, and the Chargers have to show up. So first, let's get into Tennessee, right? Tennessee is a team, again, they're well coached. They don't have that much talent, though. Outside of DeAndre Hopkins, they really don't have any household names. At the wide receiver position, tight end position. We all know who Derrick Henry is, right? We all know he's King Henry. But he is kind of getting up there in age as far as the running backs are concerned. So his effectiveness might be down a little bit this year. He could have a big game against us, but just generally speaking, his effectiveness could, be on the drop off a little bit. But I would still really prepare to see Derrick Henry at least 25 times. I think we're going to see a lot of the Tennessee run game. Last week, Tennessee came out and they got cute. They have a new offensive coordinator. His name is Tim Kelly. I believe he was the offensive coordinator with the Houston Texans for a couple of seasons. And he came out and he got cute against the Saints. I watched a little bit of the tape the other day, and they were doing really uncharacteristic things. They came out in a lot of 5 wide receiver sets, uncharacteristic for Tennessee. They were even coming out in the some of the 4x1 sets, and they would motion the running back out to the X position to run a route. Right, again, empty backfield, and what did they get for their troubles, right? What did they get for all those 5 wide receiver sets? They got 3 Ryan Tannehill interceptions. That is not what the Tennessee Titans do. The Tennessee Titans do not throw the ball down the field like that out of empty, right? They need to run the ball first. They need to set the run up first, suck the defense in. Then they'll be able to hit some big plays over the top. But just coming out, just out of the gate, 5 wide receiver sets, that's not what the Tennessee Titans do. So if they do any of that against the Chargers, I feel like we are going to have a very good chance to stop a lot of that. That's just not what they do. They have to run the ball first. They need to set the run first. They have to establish that in order for their passing game to, get on track, get first downs, get down the field, and, maybe hit for some explosive plays. They need to set up the run first. So I'm looking for them to come out, really establish the run. Derrick Henry, obviously, I mentioned him. He's going to play a big role, but I think one of the matchups that's not being talked about, one of the matchups that really scares me as a fan is Tyjae Spears, right? He is a guy, he's a rookie out of Tulane. The Titans really like him. He played more snaps last week than Derrick Henry. He played 34 snaps. Derrick Henry only played 30 snaps. They like him in the pass game. They like him on third down. And the coverage from the linebacker position for the Chargers it's just never really been great. Everybody outside of Drew Tranquil kind of struggles in coverage. Kenneth Murray is going to be calling plays for the Chargers, right? He's going to be wearing the green dot on his helmet. He struggles big time in coverage. So I think they are going to go matchup hunting. Look for that on third down, right? 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Look for Tyjae Spears out of the backfield. He is kind of a change of pace back. He's completely different, as far as his physical characteristics from Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is big and bruising. Tyjae Spears is kind of, I don't want to call him a scat back because he's not that small, but he is a change of pace back, right? I think he's only like 5'9", 205 or something like that, right? So he has pretty good speed, as a third down back, and, he runs pretty good routes as well, too. So that's something the Chargers are going to have to look out for, especially if Brandon Staley wants to get exotic, if he wants to bring blitzes, if he wants to try to bring pressure to, confuse Tannehill, get in his face. Our linebackers are going to be matched up one-on-one. Eric Kendricks is out this week as well, too, with the hamstring injury. So the linebacker position is very thin. It was already thin coming into camp, the inside linebacker position, and they could struggle. They could struggle on third down. That is a matchup that I would look for all game long. They might go matchup hunting with Kenneth Murray and whoever steps up to play the other linebacker position. That could be a very, very detrimental matchup for us. But again, they're going to have to set up the run first in order to make that happen. So ultimately, all in all, man, I think the Titans offense doesn't really present anything that the Chargers can't stop. Now, again, they're coming off of a historically bad defensive performance. So is there something that Brandon Staley can cook up to try to slow this team down? I think so. Maybe, possibly, we'll see. But this is all going to boil down to the Chargers defense getting off the field on third down. Under Brandon Staley, the Chargers have been one of the worst teams getting off the field on third down. And when you look at that, when you look at the talent on this team, there really is no reason why that should be happening, but it's happening, right? And we've seen it last week. So can they exercise some demons, some third down demons on defense? It's going to really going to boil down to that. Tennessee's going to look to, have Ryan Tannehill, just complete passes, right? Simple passes on third down. They want to get in 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, have him complete simple passes, possibly use his legs, right? He's a mobile quarterback. He can move around pretty well. There's going to be opportunities for them. Can the Chargers get off the field on third down? That's really what this thing is really going to boil down to, honestly, in my opinion. So that's kind of Tennessee's offense in a nutshell, right? Again, they're not explosive. They're not going to impress you with the way that they play. But if they enact their formula, right, if they go by what their formula is to win, it's effective, right? And they have been fairly successful with that over the past 3 to 4 years. So I'm looking for them to really go back to Tennessee Titan football, trying to move our guys off the ball, trying to, establish the run, and then go play action from there. So that's what I'm looking for from their offense. Now, as far as the other side of the ball, right, the Chargers offense, I'm not worried about the Chargers offense at all. We have a real offensive coordinator now in Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is a real offensive coordinator. He doesn't just wear the title like Joe Lombardi, coming out and doing the same things week to week. This game plan is going to look insanely different than the week 1 game plan. The Chargers ran the hell out of the ball in week 1. It was very impressive. It was something that I like to see. It's been something that I've been calling for a very, very long time. And it seems like the Chargers have that under control now, right? You have one of the best offensive lines in football. You got guys who you can run behind, right? All the way from the left side to the right side. You can run between run between the tackles, and you can run behind everybody. So there really is no weakness as far as the offensive line goes, especially in the run game. But the Tennessee Titans defense, that is where their strength is, up front, inside, right? Interior defensive linemen. Jeffrey Simmons, one of the best interior defensive linemen in the National Football League. He's going to play a big role in trying to stop the Chargers' run game. But I do think that the Chargers, they just have to come out and establish the run game a little bit. I don't think that they need to go for over 200 yards. They might not even need to go for over 100 yards, right? As long as you show them that you are willing to run the ball, you're going to be able to suck some of the linebackers and safeties up towards the line of scrimmage, right? Then you're going to have some one-on-ones, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Quentin Johnson possibly. You're going to have, your pick of the litter as far as who you want to go to if you're Justin Herbert. So I think the Chargers just have to come out and show that they're willing to run the ball. Show that, hey, if these boxes are light, we will hand this ball off, gain 5 or 6 yards, right? Tennessee, they're going to have to adjust, and then that's when it's Herbert time. So I expect Justin Herbert to have a really good game this week statistically. I tweeted this out a couple of days ago. I think he's going to go over 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns. A lot of people weren't happy with his performance last week, but he did enough. He played well enough for the Chargers to win. They were running the ball really well, right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. I am a big proponent of that. So if you don't have to do anything differently, you don't need to do anything differently, right? You don't have to, reinvent the wheel here. So I really think the Chargers just have to establish that run game to get Justin Herbert going, get the play action game going, and get down the field a little bit. I do think that Herbert is a little gun shy. Watching the week 1 tape, there were some shots open down the field that Herbert did not take for whatever reason. It's the first game in a new offense, right? So you have to give him a grace period, right, to get comfortable in this offense. No preseason snaps at all for any of the offensive starters. Same with the defense as well, too. So you have to give them a grace period to kind of settle in, let them get their sea legs under them. And, I think this offense is really going to be one of the best in the league. I think we're looking at a top 5 offense that the Chargers are going to have. So offensively, I'm not worried at all. For the Titans, right, I talked about what their strength is. That is really the only strength they have on defense. Their linebacker play is very, very suspect. When we played them last year, I think it's something that I pointed out on one of my live streams. The linebacker play is not good. They're just not good. And the secondary is even worse. And they're dealing with injuries as well to 2 of their better DBs. Things are not looking good for them. They're going to have to really put together a really, really good game plan. Expect a lot of zone out of them. I don't, think they're going to bring up guys from the practice squad and ask them to play man, against a Keenan Allen, against a Mike Williams, against a Quentin Johnson. They're not going to bring these guys up and put them on an island, right? I just don't think Mike Vrabel has that in him, right? He's a very experienced coach. He knows what he's doing, especially on the defensive side of the ball where he cut his teeth as a coordinator. He's not going to ask that of guys who, he knows can't do it, right? So expect a lot of zone. All the Chargers really have to do is make sure that they protect Herbert, right? Make sure he has time. If they protect him and he has time, he's going to be able to dictate, go down the field, and I think this offense is going to be able to roll at a pretty high level. They looked pretty damn good last week for not getting any preseason snaps. So I think, as they get their confidence, as they get more, comfortable with one another, I think it's just going to roll smoothly, right? I honestly do. I think this offense is very, very good. They have a coordinator who is willing to game plan, right? Switch up the game plans depending on, who the opponent is, right? That's something that the Chargers haven't had in a couple of years. You're not going to expect Kellen Moore to go out there and run the ball as many times as he did last week, right? This team is better at stopping the run than the Dolphins are. So you can expect a lot more from Herbert and the passing game. So I really like the Chargers this weekend. I really, really do. Everything that we've seen in week 1 was disappointing from the defense. But I really like them this weekend. I think they win this game 27-20. I think they do it fairly easily as well, too. Tennessee, they're going to have their home crowd behind them. This is an early game. It's a 10 a.m. game for us, 1 o'clock on the East Coast. So I think, they're going to benefit from that. The Titans are going to benefit from that a little bit. But once the Chargers settle in and, once they get going, I just think they're going to be too much for the Titans at this point right now. So, again, I think they win 27-20. They better win. This is a game that you have to win. If you're Brandon Staley, you cannot afford to lose this game because if you can't beat this Tennessee team, you really can't beat anybody, right? The Dolphins, week 1, the Titans, week 2, 2 polar opposite teams. And if you lose to both of those teams, right, who can you beat? Because, you faced the potentially most explosive offense in the league in week 1. You went down to Tennessee in week 2 and faced the least explosive offense. If those are both L's, then who can you beat? Who can you beat this season? And it would not give me a lot of confidence going forward if the Chargers were to lose. But I just don't see it. Again, I'm always realistic with what I predict, with what I think is going to happen. And I don't think I'm being delusional or anything here. I think the Chargers can win this game. This is a winnable game. If they turn the ball over or if things go really bad, then, obviously it's a different story. But at this point right now, this is a team that the Chargers could and should beat. So I have all the confidence in the world that they get this done. If they don't, then we're going to have a talk, obviously. But at this point right now, I think they're going to get it done. I really do. I think they'll get it done. And I think we'll be celebrating a win, after tomorrow's game. But, that is all I got for this one, guys. Just wanted to come on here and break down this game. This is a crucial game, very, very crucial game. I'm going to be live tweeting during the game. I am currently setting up right now getting all my stuff back and trying to set up for a live stream. I want to do a live stream after the game. Hopefully, everything goes well. All of my stuff, all of my equipment has to be updated. My camera needed to be updated. I need to update software on my MacBook and all of that stuff. But all of that should be done by the time I will be live streaming after the game. So thank you guys so much for all the support. I really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all of my new subscribers, old subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all the messages. Man, I've gotten so many comments. I can't even, respond to all of them. But thank you guys so much for all the well wishes. It feels good to be back. I really, really appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the love. My family appreciates it, so I cannot thank you enough. And so until next time, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Catch me on Twitter. If you do not follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. My handle is Pigskin_Addicts on Twitter. Again, I'll be live streaming. So, live tweeting and then live streaming after the game. So you can catch me on there. I'll be on there, saying what I got to say, unfiltered as always. So that's all I got for this one, guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support. And until next time.